Hey, a brand new episode of the Happy Productive Podcast is about to begin. It's time to be inspired by simple and actionable solutions for you and your business. If you're an established entrepreneur or just laying down the first brick of your future empire, the mantra is the same. We will flip any failure into a positive and use it to our advantage. This show is all about turning coal into diamonds. With the right plan and mindset, anything is possible. I'm Jennifer Dawn, your host, business coach, and founder of Best Planner Ever, and I'm here to help you achieve all your ambitious goals. Success is closer than you think. Let's do this. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show, and this is the episode that I want you to listen to when it feels like everything is falling apart. And if you're listening to this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are going to be times in life where it just feels like it's all going to shit, okay? When everything in your life is off track, going in the wrong direction, nothing is going your way. It just feels like you against the entire world, and you probably just want to crawl in a hole and die. I promise you don't really want to die. You just don't want to feel everything that you're feeling around everything in your life that is just going in a different direction. The first thing that I want to tell you about this time when it feels like everything is falling apart is that this is actually a really good thing that's happening right now. It's a good thing. And just bear with me for a second, because right now in your life, there are probably some things that need to change. And I want you to just for a moment be really honest with yourself and ask, are there some things in my life that really need to change? And maybe these things have been needing to change for quite some time. And maybe we have been ignoring it, avoiding it, distracting ourselves from it. You know, one of the things with time management when we're just so busy that I see and I have done myself is that I will make myself so busy when there are things in life that are big things and I just don't want to deal with it. And so I get myself really busy. And then when I'm so busy, I just don't have time to deal with it anymore. These could be relationship issues, money issues, health, weight loss, body issues. It could be any of this stuff. And it's just like, I don't want to deal with this. So let me get really busy so that I can avoid it. And so what happens is that we continue to just kind of avoid or distract ourselves from these difficult things in our life that we don't want to deal with until things kind of start to fall apart. And I actually think this is the universe trying to kind of get our attention and be like, hey, this is also the universe trying to help us make a new reality for ourselves. Because as we're going along and we're, ignoring, avoiding, distracting, whatever, and everything starts to fall apart, like it really and truly gets our attention. And so we have to pay attention to what is happening, and it kind of brings in this awareness. The problem is we don't like it. It's not comfortable. It's not how we decided it should go. And so we get really upset about the whole situation. So if you're finding right now in your life that everything is just blowing up, like it's not going the way that I want, the first thing that I want you to do is be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are there some things in my life or in my business that actually need to change? And once you've got some clarity around what those things are, just take a little moment and just write it down right now. Like, what in my life do I know, if I'm being completely honest with myself, need to change? And when I look at my life and everything seems to be falling apart, is it at all possible that it's falling apart around some of these areas that actually need to change? And if for a moment you could change your thinking and you could ask yourself, okay, if all of this stuff that's falling apart is actually helping me, if it's actually in my highest and best interests, what am I missing? What am I missing? And just take a moment to reflect on that. Just imagine for a moment that the universe, the universal life force energy is actually trying to help you by everything falling apart. What would that look like? And just take a moment to think about it. Because almost every time I see things falling apart, I like to call it the beautiful disaster. it's actually the universe working in our favor. It's removing people from our life, bringing people into our life, requiring us to think in a different way. Maybe there's a lesson that we just continue to refuse to learn. And until we learn that lesson, we won't be able to break the pattern. Sometimes we're stuck in a pattern. We're stuck in some old habits that just need to go. And because we keep repeating it, that's why everything is falling apart. But if we can see it for what it really is, see it for the beautiful disaster that needs to happen so that we can rebuild, restart, step in a new direction, right? It needs to happen so that it can set us on the path that we are meant to be on. And if we can see the falling apart for that, it can actually be a wonderful thing that we can now start to embrace and go in the flow of. So if it's all fallen apart, I actually want you to lean into it. Just go with it. Let go of whatever it is that you're clinging to or holding on to so tightly that might actually need to go in your business and in your life. Just let go and flow with it. When you start to get into the flow, first of all, you're going to feel a whole lot better. And what if you need to let go of something so that something new, something better, something so much more amazing can now come into your life? Anytime I've had to let something go, it has always opened that door of opportunity for something better to come in. So if it's all falling apart because, someone's leaving or something's happened or somebody did something to you, I promise you that it's going to be okay if you just let it go. Let it go and open up your mind, open up your heart to something new that can come into your life now so that it can all be better. Whenever I work with a client who is just having one of these, moments where it's just like, oh my gosh, everything is falling apart. One of the first things that we do is we just vent it all off. And this is so important. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it's all falling apart, have a venting session. Go sit in your car. Don't vent on other people. Okay. Right. Please don't do this to them. Go sit in your car, go drive somewhere, go be by yourself, go out into the forest, go sit on the ocean, go somewhere and be by yourself, entirely by yourself, and just have a venting session where you speak the words out loud and you let them go. You could yell, you could scream. Do a journaling session where you just journal out everything that's in your heart. And then after you journal it all out, rip up the paper. Okay. Don't keep that shit. We got to let it go, but just vent off exactly how you're feeling. Don't repress the emotions. Allow yourself to feel it. If you're feeling sad, feel sad. If you feel bitter or angry, feel bitter or angry. Go into the emotion and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling so that you can actually let it go and move through it. Okay. Then do the exercise of where you ask yourself, if this was actually all working in my favor, what am I missing? What could I see here? How could I change my perspective? How could I believe that this is all working for me? And if you do these simple exercises, it will really and truly help you to move through this. And I believe that the universe always has our backs and that even if we can't see it, it is actually working in our highest and best interest, even when it feels like it's falling all apart. I've had this happen to me several times in my life where literally it just all fell apart, in my work, in my health, in my family. And looking back now, I realize, oh my gosh, that was me wanting something better. And in order for me to get better, I had to let go of some things and I had to heal and I had to learn how to process my emotions. And I literally had to get kicked in the ass time and time again until I woke up and learned what I needed to learn and healed what I needed to heal and developed the new healthy habits and broke the unhealthy patterns and the old cycles of my thinking. And those things needed to happen so that it could set me on a better path. So, if this is where you're at right now, I promise it's going to be okay. Just listen to this episode as many times as you need to listen. You can absolutely do the work that you need to do. Vent off the emotion, trust that it's all working in your higher self, let some stuff go, process, what you need to process. And you know what? Get the help that you need to have in order to move through this and redefine where you want to be in your business and your life, and then start taking steps to get there. All right, you guys, I promise it's going to be okay. You can absolutely get through this. I know it's so hard when you're hurting. You're not alone. I've been through this. So many other people have been through this. You will get through this too. Believe it and trust it. And go back through the episode and listen as many times as you need to listen until you start to feel better, and you will get there. All right, that's it. Get out there and go have a happy, productive day. I hope you found today's episode of the Happy Productive Podcast inspiring. Every successful business is formed by a set of small, consistent, and attainable steps. If you want to learn more, come visit us at jenniferdawncoaching.com to take your next step and learn how to meet your business goals. On our website, you're going to find free resources along with links to the life-changing coaching programs that have transformed the lives of so many of our clients, including the Coaching Academy and our Unbreakable retreats. Many of them started their journey by listening to this podcast. That's it. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.